move,
Right.
and I'll be back. You know,
Right.
they're here. They can capture the information on their tablet or their phone
Right.
a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit harder for them to go because we don't know what they're doing because they're not going, oh yeah, I got to run this across the room and run back.
Right.
It has kind of self-policed and added to their qualifications that they have to do having that app. And now the folks that we're getting names from, they're just not some guy wants me to, can I have a hat? Here, let me scan the card. Okay, here's a hat. Here's
Right.
but as far as social media apps, we're not very social media connected.
Okay.
We have maybe 400 followers,
Okay.
and they're non-industry people.
Okay.
Most of them are in prisons. I mean, they're people that are really fond of construction
Sure.
equipment, or there's some, like I say, of the media folks that are keeping up with us because they push it. They have to be on it. But right now, we don't have anybody who is just because it's a personnel changes. Nobody is driving that cart right now. There's just too many other of the old school stuff where you have to have literature and you got to have PDF files on your website. Now we just rolled out our website, so we'll probably try to be a little bit more e-oriented next time.
Sure.
So it's like if you have something we're interested in hearing,
Okay.
we don't want to have to come up with the rabbit the first time.
Sure. Okay. So we'll look at and kind of come back to you guys with some ideas about some inbound marketing kind of things that either use LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter to kind of give you guys access to not only the community industry, the construction industry in general, but even maybe give you a chance to reach out to your own customer base and say, hey, by the way, through any kind of social media tools that you have, like if you've got a LinkedIn community or a Facebook community that you want to send a message out and say, hey, we're attending ConAgCon Expo, love to see you there. We're going to be in booth number 2152, whatever. Those are tools that we feel might be a benefit to you. So we're looking at those, and we'll come back to you, obviously, with things like that. Another area that we're exploring is innovation. So looking for kind of that case study or that new technology product that you're putting out on the marketplace for ConAgCon Expo and giving you a chance to kind of make yourself a little unique at the show, a little bit of promotion. We're going to help push that a little bit for you. Does that seem of interest to you?
I would say some.
Okay.
Everything new we just rolled out of this show.
Okay.
Because we believe it was going to be the next logical step. Well, number one, the engines changed, and that drove our biggest engineering change and our newest product change. And so it was met with like, ta-da! So maybe this was the worst time to roll it out, not the best time to roll it out. So we'll probably, as the next stage engine thing comes out, it won't be anything new, but it will just be a little spicier next time.
Okay.
So yes, short answer, yes, we'll probably need some help with that.
Okay.
We're interested in seeing what we can do or what you're going to throw out on the question.
Have you guys done anything with video yet?
We do video. We just have been kind of lax in how our web system's been set up. We haven't produced anything for showing.
Okay.
And again, it's a manpower issue on our part of how to get it all together. We're very little with staff, and so you have to be everywhere to do everything.
Sure.
So it's we have to kind of pick our battles.
So we're also looking at the opportunity to send over a interview crew, a professional team with a camera and an interviewer who's a real newscaster type person that would set up an appointment with you, come in for 5 minutes and say, Scott, we hear great things are going on at Road Tech. Give us the latest, blah, blah, blah. Do kind of a 2 to 3 minute snippet that would come out of that and put that content back in your hands that you own. And then you choose it, from the floor of ConAgCon Expo or something like that. or maybe even a pre-interview where it kind of depends how we'd set it up, but maybe have an opportunity to capture it. Do you guys go to the May event?
I would be more interested in y'all taking care of that for me.
Okay.
If it was given to the local hotel chains.
Okay.
And I know when you do that, you pay for more of the sponsorship, and so that's purchased airtime.
Sure.
It was on the, and then maybe in the attendees package or something, check out Channel 14
yeah,
or something
right.
like that. I would be more interested in being pushed to the hotels
Okay.
or if in the dining areas around the facilities.
Okay.
There was TVs and it was like a news channel.
So we'll push it in several. The distribution's wide open, right? But what I need from you is who's that person going to be on your team, because we're never going to be able to create that content. You're going to be the expert, right? And then we'll need to set up the appointment, and obviously there's a cost involved. It's somewhere $5,000 kind of range that we're trying to keep it at. But to your point, it would not only be in the hotel rooms, but it'd also be, and we're looking at some digital signage and screens and things like that. The Las Vegas Convention Center pretty well. They got a lot of that up now. So we would include that in some of the crowd-facing areas as part of the distribution. What we want to do is give it to you as the final, deliverable.
I was out for the NAB last year and was watching the crews do it and was trying to follow their content stream.
Okay.
And was very unimpressed by the whole thing.
In NAB being National Association of Broadcasters?
Yeah.
What are you doing attending that show?
I'm a photographer for them.
Oh, okay. That's a great show.
It's overwhelming.
Right. It is big.
But let me say, just the various levels. 6 hours over. At a certain point, it's kind of an industry to industry thing, so it doesn't need to be a big tape crew and all this.
Sure.
And there was just maybe 20 or 30 little hot shotters around, and there's so many little blog websites that stream that stuff. Even looking at the NAB stuff, it was like, why am I taking the time to look at this? I'm on the show. I'm spending my time at the show, looking and talking to the show people.
Right.
I don't want to go back to my room, open my laptop, and see who they interviewed there or what's coming. It's like a post show, a pre-show.
Yeah.
I watched last year. So, I want to see if X is going to be there or so and so is going to be there.
Right.
During the show, it's kind of like the show daily. I don't know how much I get out of that.
Okay.
Because people are really just looking for. I just want a map. I just want a map.
Okay. All right. Get me from point A to point B. Well, so let me ask you about that a little bit, because I actually was at NAB last year too. That's actually a good customer of mine, and it's a great group of guys. They were doing some live streaming. I saw a lot of that in booths, which was pretty interesting. And then you're right, they did have some, NAB did actually have some camera crews walking around and doing some interviews and things like that. And they had a whole TV set up, and I think what we're playing around with is something like AEM TV or something like that, where it's a kind of a dedicated branded content for videos from the floor. But again, to your point, absolutely on the distribution afterwards, there would be some benefit to kind of making that available after the show's over. Is kind of what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, some.
Okay.
But at that point, my first thinking is, when the show's over and everybody's gone home and they're trying to get back to business, why do they want to watch something at the show? So it's like, I like the idea. I'm just trying to, in my mind, package it so I can sell it to my old style folks, and knowing how they think, and it's like, well, they're not looking at videos on their phones, they're not pulling it up on their pads at night. I'm not sure how it can feather in or how I can get it to feather in.
Okay.
And it's going to be a hard sell because we have 16 companies we have to sell it to. I know John's group might want to do it, I want to do it, and maybe that's all we do for our booth.
Right.
But when I bring them into the booth, they're in the Aztec Industries booth.
Got it.
So it needs to be an Aztec Industries project.
Got it.
And if it's going to be an Aztec Industries product, then 16 companies have to share it.
Sure.
So that's
That's the fun of the budget.
It's a wrangling at that point.
I get it.
And with that, if we say, okay, and our package deal is, usually it's a 1.5 minute interview.
Right.
And we do, say, a package of 6 or something like that that rotates out, day
Right.
1, day 2, or something like that. Then we'll spread those costs amongst the people.
Do you guys go to the May exhibitor show that AEM puts